Hello, my lovely viewers. You are welcome to Canicop TV. This is a TV channel that inform, educate, and interact with pig farmers about new innovations. Before we begin today's show, let's go for a quick commercial break. Canicop TV is also proudly sponsored by Canicop Barbershop, located at Bokum Estate near the CTI gate around Sojaman Park. Our contact is on the screen. Just pick it up, call us, and come for us to design your hair for you. Thank you. Thank you for your time from the commercial break. I told you there is this African Pig International Congress coming up, and I covered everything. It's going to be in series. So this is the first episode where the pig farmers of Ghana president had a speech. Then we also had a guest speaker from Spain. Wow, gave us a real insight. There is difference between rearing the animals and also making meat, and he brought the data together with the convener of the program, and this man has really done a tremendous job. He has helped us a lot with this congress, and I'm really impressed about everything. So you just sit back, relax, and watch these three speakers in the first episode, and I believe you are going to enjoy it.
Players in the pig farming industry. As president of the Pig Farmers Association of Ghana, it is my privilege to share with you an overview of the pig value chain in our country, highlighting its significant progress, ongoing challenges, and the immense opportunities ahead. The pig industry in Ghana, much like in many parts of Africa, has seen a considerable growth over the past few decades. This growth was driven by the demand for pork as the middle class expands, urbanization increases, and consumer preferences shifted towards affordable and high protein source of food. Pig farming is becoming more attractive not only to smallholder farmers, but also to medium and large scale commercial operators. At the heart of Ghana's pig value chain are thousands of smallholder farmers who are critical to the supply of pigs to the market. These farmers engage in rearing pigs as a source of livelihood, providing jobs in rural communities and contributing to national food security. Alongside the farmers, there are feed suppliers, input providers, processors, retailers, and various stakeholders who form an interconnected network that ensures pork and pork products reach the consumer. Our industry has also seen innovation with the introduction of modern breeding techniques such as artificial insemination, improvement in animal health, and value addition through processing. This is exemplified by farms like Tini Farms, which partner with smallholder farmers to improve production quality and provide technical support, ultimately leading to high value pork products for minimum markets such as the end hotels and restaurants. Despite these advances, we still face numerous challenges that inhibit the full potential of the pig industry in Ghana. Inadequate access to quality inputs. Access to quality breeding stock, veterinary service, and feed remains a significant barrier for many pig farmers. Without the right input, productivity suffers and farmers are unable to maximize the potential of their livestock. High feed cost. Feed represents the highest operational cost in pig farming, often accounting for over 60% of production expenses. The rising cost of feed, driven by fluctuating prices of maize, soya, and other feed ingredients, is a major threat to profitability of our industry. Lack of organized markets and value addition. A fragmented market system means that many pig farmers struggle to get fair price for their pigs. There is also limited value addition at the local level, with much of the processing done informally. This leaves opportunity on the table in terms of creating products like sausages, bacon, and processed meat that can fetch higher market price. The threat of disease such as African swine fever has been a long-standing issue for pig farmers. Poor biosecurity measures in some farming communities lead to periodic outbreaks, resulting in significant economic losses and a reduction in herd size across the country. Access to finance for smallholder farmers and small to medium enterprises along the value chain remains a challenge. Many farmers find it difficult to obtain credit to expand their operations or to invest in critical infrastructure like house for pigs, processing facility, and for cold storage. Opportunities for growth and transformation. As we look to the future, I firmly believe that the pig industry in Ghana and Africa as a whole holds tremendous potential for growth and transformation. The opportunities that lie before us is numerous. Technology and innovation. We must leverage modern technology to drive efficiency across the value chain, from digital solution for farm management to advanced breeding technique. Innovation can help us tackle many of the challenges we face today. For example, improving access to artificial insemination centers and enhanced breeding techniques can significantly boost productivity. By investing in processing and value addition, we can create higher value products that meet the growing demand for diversified pork products. There is a growing market for processed pork products like sausage, ham, and bacon, particularly in the urban areas and among the middle and upper class customers. Establishing regional processing centers can help unlock these opportunities. Investment in biosecurity and development. Enhancing biosecurity measures at both the farm and national level will protect the industry from devastating diseases like African swine fever. We need to build stronger veterinary networks, improve farmer education, and advocate for better disease surveillance system. The pig industry offers an avenue for youth employment and entrepreneurship by creating targeted training programs for young people in animal husbandry, farm management, and pork processing. We can empower the next generation of pig farmers to contribute to the future of the industry. As we reflect on the evolution journey of African pig industry, we have made significant strides, but that much remains to be done. Ghana pig value chain has the potential to be a major contributor to food security, rural development, and economic growth. However, this will require the concerted effort of government, industry stakeholders, development partners, and farmers themselves to address these existing challenges. and seize the abundant opportunity before us. Let us continue to innovate, collaborate, and invest in the future of our industry so that we can position Africa and Ghana in particular as leaders in the pig production and the global stage. Thank you, and God be with us.
I am in this event. Last year we were in Nigeria, and it is really exciting to see how the pig industry in Africa, a lot of you, a lot of farmers in Ghana, but as well people from different countries here in Africa are coming to join us in these events. And this is because this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it is to be together, to join together, and this is the way how we develop the Africa's pig industry. I'm going to talk first. I'm going to introduce you about how the swine industry is globally. I think it's always a good idea to see how the pig industry, how it's all around the world. Okay, not only how it is here in Africa. We will talk about Africa later. But I'm going to start giving you some numbers about pig industry globally. Okay, here you have a figure where we can see. Probably it's not going to I will. So this is, we have now in the world around 75 million sows. Okay, this is the number of sows we have in the world, at least the sows that we know. Okay, so probably we have much more of that, but this is the number of sows that we have under control. Okay, but if you see of these 75 million sows, okay, 10 of these in 10 countries we have around 92% of these 75 millions. You can see that China, talking about sows inventory, has more than 50% of all the population of sows in the world right now. Then we have the European Union, where Spain is one of the biggest countries, the biggest producers in the European Union, and then US. And then you have the rest of the countries that are important as well. But you can see where is right now the sows inventory based globally. If we see these countries that are keeping all these big inventory of sows, so you see that in China there is right now around 40 million sows, okay? So it's more than 50%, so it's more around 40 million sows. Then we have the European Union that is around 10 million, it's going down. You can see this is comparing 2024 comparing 2023, so it's really updating information, okay? US is as well going down with 6 million sows, but is decreasing his inventory of sows. And then we have different countries, okay, that they are growing, mostly in South America, okay, Brazil, Mexico, and a lot of different countries, and as well in Asia, that are really growing in the inventory of sows actually, okay. And then we have Africa. The point with Africa is that we really don't know exactly the number of sows. So if you try to find the inventory of sows in Africa, you can find it in South Africa probably, because we have better numbers there, but it's really difficult to find this inventory in the rest of the Africa. I'm not going to talk too much about Africa because my colleague Al-Rami, he's going to start giving you some numbers about Africa, because we start having them, okay, and we will need to collect more of them, so we will leave Ayo to do that. Okay, the next one. Okay, so we start having some data from Africa, and I will talk a little bit about that later. So what is happening globally in terms of production? What's happening this year? The production in general terms is not moving, it hasn't moved nothing compared with the last year, 2023. Okay, so in production we are stable. we will see later that the projections is to grow, but in general terms, comparing 2024 with 2023, is not going to be changed. The exports in general are growing. The most of the countries they try to increase their exports to go more or just a little bit. But it's true that the swine industry it has been growing a lot in the last years, and this is what will happen here in Africa for sure in the following times. And you can see the exports that we were talking before. So the exports has grown a lot in Spain in the last 10 years. So we have based our industry in the exports to mostly third countries like China and other countries in Asia. Now this is changing a little bit, but this is what has happened in the last 10 years. But as well, we are an export country, but as well, we have been importing a lot. The total amount is not big, but we have been importing other products for pigs, for pork from other countries. So what we are doing, so we export China or Asia a lot of our products, mostly the high value products. We try to do that, and then we import less value products. This is how the commerce is working. Next one, because I think it's not. Okay, so a little bit more about exports. Let's come back to the world. It was an example of Spain, but let's come back to the world. So if we talk about exports, we see that the big exporting countries, continents in the world, of course, is United States, okay, and Europe. You can see the difference. So both of these, they are on the top of the exports in the world. And then we have countries like Brazil, that if we see Brazil is growing, okay, so it's the big producer, the main producer, but as well the main import country, because they need a lot of meat right now. So this is why. And then Asian countries like Japan, they are as well big imports of meat. And Mexico, that is growing in production, but until now, they don't produce, they produce just a few amount of what they use. Okay, so they are still importing a lot of pork meat. Okay, if we talk about per capita consumption, okay, in the world, we see that China is the biggest, has the highest consumption per person, okay, of pork meat in the world, with around almost 50 kilos of pork meat per person per year. So it's a lot of pork meat. Then we have Belarus, and then we have all these Asian countries like South Korea, Taiwan, that they are around these 40 kilos of pork meat per year. And as well in the European Union. The European Union, the consumption is going down in general terms. Okay, we are eating less meat or less pork meat every year. We have got tired. I don't know why. But this is what is happening. But anyway, we are still eating a lot of pork meat. And then we have Africa. So when you see the general figure of Africa, because we don't have like a specific data. So in Africa, and the total amount, and this is not pork meat. And this is where we have the opportunity. This is why we are here. The total meat consumption in average in Africa is around 18 kilos of meat per person per year. This is total, not pork meat. I'm talking about chicken, I'm talking about pork, I'm talking about beef. So you can see that comparing with the rest of the countries that we have, so we have almost 3 times, or China, for example, his consumption is almost 3 times. Only the pork meat consumption is 3 times all the meat consumption that is here in Africa. If you go to see the amount of pork, the average of consumption of pork that is in Africa, I have found some small data all around that I don't know if they are really just trust them 100%. But the pork meat consumption is around 2 kilos, something like that, per person per year in Africa. So of course it will be different depending on the countries. That's true. There are a lot of countries in Africa, but we have a big opportunity as big producers, okay, to try to start getting up this number. Okay, it's true that it's going. One of the reasons is because they are producing much cheaper, okay, than the rest of us. And when you see the reason why, we have here, you can see the cost of the food, the cost of the labor, then we have other costs like energy, etc. Okay, and then the cost of the investments. So if you compare the cost of the food in these countries, in Brazil as well in US, with the most part of countries in Europe, the cost of the food is much lower. Okay, this is a big reason why they are growing really fast and they are trying to export a lot of. They are increasing their exports to other countries because they can sell their meat cheaper. Okay, so it's really simple. And then as well, it's a big difference in the cost of the work, the cost of labor. Okay, so the cost of labor in these countries is much lower than the cost of labor in countries like Spain or in countries like Denmark or in Germany. So this low cost of labor helps as well to decrease the production cost and to be able to produce a kilogram of meat, okay, cheaper, and in that way be able to grow faster. Okay, so this is and this is something as well related. We will talk with the efficiency. Okay. And we need to try as a continent that is developing the swine industry to grow and grow in efficiency, trying always to produce a little bit to reduce a little bit the cost of production. Okay? Because if we can produce our meat a little bit cheaper, it will be much easier to sell it. Okay? And in that way, it will be easier for us, okay, to continue growing. So it's a matter as well of how we are producing, what is our cost, okay? It's really important to know what is our cost and trying to reduce a little bit our cost to increase our efficiency and to be able to increase our development. Well, I have already talked about that, so it's... Okay. Let's talk a little bit about productive indicators. That these productive indicators are talking about that, are talking about efficiency, about how the countries are developing the industry. So we have here the female productivity. This is the animals sold every year. Finished animals are not winning animals. This is we need to understand that. So we see that Denmark is a big has a high productivity, and then the rest of the countries in Africa is going down. But then again, and this is why I have this figure here, because I want you to have always like Brazil in mind. Countries like Brazil, that they were like 10 years ago really low. Now they are increasing their efficiency a lot. Okay, so they are producing a lower cost and higher efficiency, and this both is the main reason why they are growing, and this is why we need to achieve, or what we need to try to achieve in our development has to place here as well. How is the industry growing? How the industry has grown? So the industry has grown. Cooperation between companies, cooperation with farmers, cooperation between associations, between companies. This is why we are here. We are here people from Tanzania, people from Nigeria, of course people from Ghana, people from Angola. So we are trying to cooperate, and this is the way. We are not competitors. Remember, we are not competitors because we need more permit. I mean, we don't have enough in Africa, we import a lot. So we are not competitors. We keep this in mind. So cooperating, talking together, for example, buying cereals together, how the companies in Spain they have grown. Buying cereals together, getting better prices, okay? Because if you go alone, they are going to charge you a lot of money. But if you go with you, and you can negotiate because you are going to buy a bigger amount of feed. So you have more opportunities to negotiate. Okay? So going together, selling pigs together as well. Okay? If you go to a slaughterhouse and you want to sell one pig, they're going to charge you a lot of money. But if you go with your colleagues and you go, okay, we are going to sell you 30 pigs, 50 pigs, 100 pigs, this is changing. Okay? They would like to buy your pigs, but in that way you can negotiate a little bit. Okay? So cooperation between the companies. This is clear. Producing bigger feed mills or bigger feed plants is the same. So buying cereals together, but as well, if we have the opportunity, why not building feed plants together and produce a good feed for our pigs together. Okay, this is going to reduce the cost. Okay, and in reducing the cost, we are being more efficient. Biggest houses as well. Why, as a producers, and we have been talking with some of you these days, so why we can stay only in selling pigs, okay? Why not we can be as well, we can have as well our vertical integration, and we can join as well, and maybe produce our own slaughterhouse or whatever, bigger than the ones that we have now, and we can be more efficient in that way. We can have more control. We can control the biosecurity if we know what we are doing. If we don't know what we are doing, what the slaughterhouse are doing with the meat that we sell them, we cannot control some aspects. So why not to do that? Vertical integration, as I have told you, so there are a lot of companies globally. This is an example in Spain, that they have been able to have everything, okay? The feed mill, the farms, the slaughter, and meat processor, and as well the shops, trying to directly send the meat to the market. Why we cannot sell our own meat as a producers, okay? This is one way to really get the full profit of the value chain. And then, as associations, be stronger, okay? And as producers, be stronger. For example, what the industry in Spain has done for a long time ago. So the producers, they pay a small amount of money to the associations, okay, to work together. Okay, in that way, the associations, they can work for the farmers, okay? But the money needs to come from somewhere. And sometimes I discuss that, but sometimes we believe that the money should be coming from the government, and the government is not going to provide us the money. Okay, so forget about that. So we need to do it ourselves. Okay, so in Spain it has been for a lot of time, for a lot of years. We are paying every farmer when we sell a pig. Okay, we pay €1 to the association, the national association. And the national association, of course, has to do something with this euro. It's not to keep the euro, it's to work for the industry. So they work to promote the consumption, to research, to innovate, to improve the image, to work with, to maybe help the farmers with investments. So they go back to the industry. Okay, but in that way, we have been achieving a strong industry. And as well, it's necessary, and sometimes as a farmer it's a complication or it's a problem, but it's necessary to have a regulation, okay, about how we are producing. It's necessary to have a regulation about how we have to produce, to follow some rules. Because if we don't follow some rules, okay, finally anyone who will down will give us much more problem. I'm not going to go there because they will talk about that later. Okay, trying to get this good feed We cannot we cannot be efficient if we don't feed our animals in good conditions. Okay, if we don't use really good feed with all the needs that the animal have, we are not going to achieve our goals. Of course, better facilities, try to invest in our farms, okay? Try to have better facilities to be efficient. Try, at least we don't need to arrive to some of the investments that they have done in Europe, but with small investments, we can improve a lot, really, our systems and our efficiency. Technology, it will come. Maybe they will talk a little bit about that later as well, so I'm not going to go inside. But as well, the technology is helping us, the data, the information of the farms is helping us really to improve our efficiency. Okay, to know what is happening with our pigs, really how they perform, how they grow. All that is something that maybe now we see that we can think that it's far, but it's something that it will come, and it's necessary to improve the efficiency. And finally, to invest in health, okay? And how the industry has been growing. Trying to invest in health, and investing in health means investing in biosecurity. Okay, and you know perfectly that we have a big challenge here with African swine fever. Okay, and one of the key points to control that is invest in biosecurity. Okay, invest in how we manage the biosecurity in our farms. How we let the people go inside. Okay, not like the picture on the right that is completely broken. So like the pictures on the left. So we can do our way, but we need to really be sure that some things are not happening. And at least now we are not achieving that. To go inside the farm, summers, at least changing our clothes. This is something that we don't realize about that, but I'm sure, because it's happening, that a lot of you, or most of you, you don't change your clothes when you go to the farms. Okay? And maybe you have been around, you have been maybe with other producers, and you don't know really what you are entering your farms. Okay? So increasing biosecurity, changing your clothes is something that will help to control the health issues in our farm. To have the farms clean, of course, as well will help. And here, so I finish with this. Charles Darwin says that it's not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but survive is the one that is most adaptable. Okay, so we need to adapt ourselves to our industry, to the changes that are coming, and if we adapt to that, we will be successful. Thank you very much today.
So I will be presenting on the evolutionary journey of Africa's pig industry, which of course is the theme for the main theme for the Congress. And I just believe that I think it's very expedient that we try to, have some knowledge of how the industry, like Javier started doing during his introduction. It's good for us to know how the industry in Africa here, how it started and where we are right now, and some of the challenging situations that we also have. Okay. So basically, I was supposed to do some introduction for the cover time. Now, even though she can come, of course, after the investigation, all of this, I'll just say all of this. After the investigation, there about pig was given to have been introduced into Africa through 5 major different historical events. Take note of that, 5 major historical events. Number one is, of course, the period of the ancient domestication period, some things were moved there about. After the domestication, the next thing that has to do with selective breeding and all of that. And then all those things contributed to the introduction of pigs into Africa. And then colonial period, that's second event, historical event. The third is transatlantic slave trade that happened in Africa. And last is missionary activities and settlement. And of course, modernization and commercial farming, which is still ongoing. So right now we are in that. We've gone through all of this. Right now we are in when there's open, sorry, I don't know. Now we are in modernization and commercial farming. The industry is getting better. We are not where we are supposed to be in Africa, but we are not also where we used to be. You have to understand that. Okay, so just to give you some, I won't go into this again, sorry. So this introduction will happen basically in three major categories. These trade networks, they are about that happen about 111 BCE, primarily along the northern African coast, and then migratory routes and colonial activities like I mentioned. There are Phoenicians historically who used to be maritime traders who moved from coast to coast. It's believed that among in their voyages, they always pick along with the transactions, and then coming down to the period of what we know as the ancient Egypt, because of course civilization of the ancient Egypt. That was the first market, the first commercial system that Africa actually have was Egypt. So all of these things were pigs. These are the events that contributed to the invasion of pigs into Africa. But the most important of them all is the colonial period, and this is the most significant introduction of pigs into Africa, and it occurred during the colonial era, particularly during the European exploration and colonization starting from the 15th century. European explorers, traders, and settlers often brought livestock, including pigs, to provide a familiar food source and to sustain themselves during long sea voyages and in new colonies. And this colonization was actually by Europeans. So one way or the other, as a matter of fact, among all these events, this is the one that had the most effect on Africa. Because when they come, when Portuguese historically, Portuguese, Spanish, I think some countries beside them, when they come then, they normally love to have some familiar kind of food sources. So on those sea voyages, they come with pigs. And it is believed historically, presumed rather, that some of these pigs, they cross multiplied and then they adapted with local breeds that were available then, and then they now became the pigs of Africa. So initially they were not pigs of Africa, but it's believed that some of the pigs were not killed, and then they become localized in Africa. Of course, the transatlantic slave trade, which was the forceful movement of Africans to Americans. This was also by European traders during these periods. They often bring along, I've mentioned these slave ships, pigs on slave ships as a sort of food for themselves. Now, this one was also important because during the work of Christianity, during the period of missionary activities and settlement when Christianity was coming to Africa, these Christians, when they come, they normally also, as a form of evangelism, supporting the people, they tend to see how they can contribute to encouraging them to come into agriculture. And it's historically believed that pig farming was among the history that was given to them. I mean, was among the encouragement of the agricultural activities that they encouraged them to do about. But of course, in recent times, we have modernization and commercialization of farming. Genetic companies are beginning to come into the system. I picked this just from a friend of mine about, so there are importations happening. But not only this, I mean, we have genetic companies here and there are activities, even here in Ghana. There are so many activities of genetic companies that are beginning to come, which was not happening before. So you can see that it started from just a kind of thing that people do just because pig, that turned into a system. Then it moved to agriculture. Then it moves into what we now have now that people are now doing pig farming. Africans are doing farming as a commercial business. Now, quickly, I'll go into the current statistics of pig production in Africa. And I would like to mention this before I go into this. I believe some of this, I think earlier in the year, maybe earlier than June, I shared something similar on our global website in Tuesday about some numbers that we are going to have, like my friend have said, they're about in Africa. And these numbers, actually before now, it has been difficult to get numbers in Africa. Even right now as I'm speaking to you, the numbers are not still, we are not still there yet because you can see the broad numbers that we got from Europe and all, but when you ask, for example, for Southeast Asia, what is happening, I think this is what we lack. There might be other, of course, we have genetic limitations, we have issue of the African swine fever, we have the issue of technologies, we have so many issues, economic downturn in so many places. All these things are there, I understand. But it's very important that we know that one of the biggest challenges that we have, even from everything that Abia said, all those slides that he was showing about some systems that we have in Europe and all, the basket systems, the way the industry and the value chain is being organized, you will see that it is very expedient that we have inadequate provision of capacity building opportunities for rural farmers. And I made this. The growth of the swine industry in a particular region is a function of the learning opportunities that's available for the swine producers per time. I think that again. The growth of the swine industry in any region in Ghana, in the UK, can also be directly proportional to the amount, or let me say, the level of capacity building and training opportunities that people have been exposed to over time. There are so many things that for us to upscale our production, there are so many things that we need to adjust. Just like the quote that ended with, the quote of Charles Alexander, we have to really adapt to changes. We have to adjust the way the industry is going. And if we will be able to really have the results that we should have, it's very expected that we begin to provide capacity building opportunities for an average pig farmer in Africa. This is why we are doing this event together. Day by day, when you go out to, as a matter of fact, when we put this event together, I know people are asking, sorry, can we have this kind of, can they teach us on maybe on feed formulation or what? I have to say, of course, it's a conference. Those things can be there, but what I'm saying is that we have to have capacity opportunities available for the farmers because, sorry, I would like to show you this. This is what we have in Africa. We have three major production systems right now. We have traditional scavenging system without pigs that roam around, without pens and all, not being cared for, the local pigs of course. And we have the second pillar, the small border or semi-intensive.
I believe you have really enjoyed, just as I really enjoyed myself in the Congress, and even watching it again makes it much better. This is how we end today's episode, and we come back with the next one where there will be a panel discussion talking about the effect on culture and religion on pig industry. Thank you for your time. We meet again in the next episode very soon. TV is also proudly sponsored by Kenko Barbershop, located at Bokum Estate near the CTI gate around Sojaman Pub. Our contact is on the screen. Just pick it up, call us, and come for us to design your hair for you. Thank you.